shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible unscathed will pass. When we are poised, the wounds of ashes to heal, we shall remember those who died in mass. Then shall our trumpets fill the glorious song of victory. Please God Almighty and wrong. Oh God, protect us from the hidden pitfall. Guide all our movements, lest we go astray. Give us strength to give and not to count the cost each day. Bless those who rule to serve with resolute plans, to make this kind a land of righteousness. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, great Biafrans, wherever you are. This is Radio Biafra Hausa Service 2, coming to you from the platform of Radio Biafra London, under the leadership of one and only Onyendu MAZI one of Biafra land. MAZI is the only incorruptible leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. He's the director of Radio Biafra and her television, and he's the commander of the armies of Biafra. And this broadcast is coming to you from me, a servant of the Most High, a servant of the indigenous people of Biafra, and a proud disciple of our leader in the person of NWACHINEKE. Once again, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, great Biafrans, friends of Biafrans, even the enemies of Biafrans. You are highly welcome. As you know, it's one thing for us to press on for the disintegration of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, for the restoration of the kingdom of God here on earth. That is why we are here. This is our mission. This is what we are doing, and this is what we must do. Nobody should relent. Nobody should retreat. We must continue to march head on with our enemy until we achieve our goal. There is no going back, no negotiation, no restructuring. Nothing is total and absolute disintegration of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. You must have that in your mind, because the enemy will come with all manner of things, telling you this, telling you that. If you eventually buy any of the crops, you are gone, and you are gone forever, because this enemy will come in and destroy you. Remember, one of the engagement, don't allow your enemy to escape. Never allow your enemy to track you down. Never allow your enemy to defeat you. You must have this things in mind, because any chance you give to the enemy, he will come in different devices. Anyone he succeeded, he will crush you completely. I always advise, destroy the enemy before the enemy will destroy you. Destroy the enemy before the enemy will destroy you, because he's an enemy. His intention is to kill, to steal, and destroy you. So don't let it be. Don't give him a chance. They will come with their restructuring. They will come with their whatever, anything they are calling it. Do not succumb to this. They will come with even dots telling you that you only 5 states up. Don't buy this crap. Nigeria must go down. Nigeria must disintegrate. Nigeria is an evil contraption. You must pity those who are foolish inside Nigeria. Despite their foolishness, you must have pity for them, because you are wise. The essence of you going to school in those days is for you to go and acquire knowledge. When you acquire knowledge, you have pity. You have pity for your people in the village that knows nothing. Then when you come, you bring civilization. You bring knowledge. You bring understanding into them. That is it. So God has given it to us. We will fight and make sure that Nigeria comes to an end. Disintegration of the Zoological Republic, disintegration of this abomination called Nigeria is certain, and there is no going back. There is nothing you will do. You can't figure anything and fix anything back, because anything you are fixing back in Nigeria is to create a platform where wickedness will continue to go on. You must understand this. We will not let it be. The whole ethnic tribe, ethnic nationalities in the Zoological Republic will be free. And let's see how they will sit in their own enclave, ruling themselves and allow foreigners to invade them and kill them. Whatever they want is what they will decide on their own. On their own. If they want foolishness, then let it be. But in as much as they don't want, or they are ignorant of what is going on, it is our duty to make sure that it's come to an end. And that is why we must continue to push harder. Brother, you must push harder. Nigeria must come to an end. This integration of the Zoological Republic is certain, and there's no going back. And that is the duty appointed, assigned to you and me. You that is listening, you that I'm talking to, is a duty that has been assigned to you and I. We must follow it. We must follow it till the end. And one of the key ways is discipline. Most of us are not disciplined. That is why, as if what you are doing is not working. If you check it very well, it is because you yourself as an individual, you are not disciplined. At a certain time, you break down. At a certain time, you break down because you are not disciplined. You won't understand what I'm telling you until when you study yourself very well. The reason why you break down is because you are not disciplined. And as it's affecting you, is affecting what you are doing, is affecting the struggle. That is why you need to start rethinking. Even when things are very tough, you need to develop or activate what is in you, the mental toughness in you. You need to develop it, to utilize it in a positive way, so that this thing will move on. Discipline is the key. When you are asked to wait, you wait. When you are asked to move, you move. What you are asked to do by your superior, by the person that have studied this issue more than you, you need to abide to it. It is for your own good. It is for my own good. It is for our own good. Very, very important, because where there is no discipline, we won't be able to disintegrate the zoo. And the enemy will like it to come through that way, because they will come and buy your mind, tell you all sorts of things, because he knows that you are too liberal, that you are not composed, that you are not hardened, that you are not disciplined. He knows that, and he will use it as a weak point. But a disciplined man, as a disciplined man, you can even call him, say, brother, let's go and drink beer. Let's go and relax here. Because he's disciplined, there is a time he doesn't eat some certain things. He will tell you, thank you, I don't want. Even though you are going to offer it free for him, because he has trained himself not to eat at a certain time, or not to eat some certain things. These things are personal discipline that need to pass through us. As a result of this not being into our system, some of us are lacking behind. Have the wisdom, have the understanding, as the scripture said. Gain wisdom and gain understanding. This is the time you need to activate all these things and let us press on, and we will be there. If you understand what I'm doing, then you need to ask for it to come. Practice it despite the time, despite the lateness. You practice it. The little you were able to acquire will help you to go further. This is the time, my dear brother. And for it to happen, you also need to always consult the Most High, who created you, who gives you the ability to press on, to move on. You ask him to give you the grace. And on that note, I will ask you to bow down your head and let us pray. The righteous King of glory, ancient of the day, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nissi, the Prince of Peace, the King of glory, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, we worship you, we adore thee, we glorify your name. We thank you, O Lord God Jehovah, at this moment. Abba, Father Jehovah, for who you are, we bless your holy name. We thank you, immortal Redeemer, Jehovah Jireh, for choosing us to be your people. Father, we also thank you for using us to destroy this abomination. My Father, my Maker, will give you glory. We give you praise. Father, Lord, each time we come before you, Lord, we present our need, oh Lord. Our need is that you will protect our leader, MAZI Nnamdi with a beautiful wife and children. Father, you will strengthen them. Father, you will be with them, oh Lord, good Jehovah. Day and night, oh Lord, immortal. Day and night, Abba, Father, you will strengthen them. Father, we lift ESN as well, oh Lord, asking you to do that which only you can do in the life of the ESN member. Jehovah Jireh, strengthen them, be with them, oh Lord. Abba, Father, energize them. Open their eyes to see beyond, the Lord God Jehovah, what human can see. My Father, my Maker, that indeed they will be able to capture this enemy of yours and destroy them. Jehovah Jireh, Abba, Father, we lift Biafrans before you all over the world, praying that their life will be better than as it was yesterday, that the tomorrows of the Biafrans will be better than that of yesterday, that the today of the Biafrans all over the world will be better than that of the yesterday. Jehovah Jireh, we ask you, Abba Father, protect and guide all of us wherever we are, from head to toe. Jehovah Nancy, we continue to pray over our land, asking you, Lord God Jehovah, let the land fight for itself, O Lord. Jehovah Nancy, Jehovah Jireh, that indeed, O Lord, this will come to pass, and we, your children, will go home and worship you in every truth and in every honesty, because you alone is God. You, there is none like thee. You are the only holy God. We will worship you, we will adore thee, and glorify your name to the glory of your name. Thank you, Abba Father Jehovah. Thank you, my Lord. Be thou exalted, Lord. Father, this we pray and believe that you have answered us as we make this prayer in the beautiful name of your beloved Son, Yeshua HaMashiach. Great Biafrans, we have come, just a quick one, to make sure that zoo comes to an end. They are coming with all manner of some romantic statements and whatever, as if as if they are not feeling the heat. But you need to understand the game. This is the time we need to hit it harder, more. Attacking force more and more. It doesn't matter what they have caused already. We need to hit from another angle. If this angle has blocked, we need to change another angle. Don't listen to what any idiot is saying. Continue to hit it until the zoo goes down. Even at this time, Nigeria is still looting her own money. That they don't have money, they don't have money, they are crying, the economy is going down. But people are still looting from industries, from ministries, from states. They are still looting themselves. When is it going to stop? That is why we need to hit them more and more. We need to hit them more and more. We need to hit them for them to go down. The earlier, the better. The harder, the quicker. That is the only way. I tell you the truth. Time is not on our side on all those things, but let's see one or two news we have in detail. There is this news I just saw now. This one says, Northern Nigerian funded building of refineries, education of a notable people, Southerners, boast of regional group leaders. In Northern Nigeria boasting that they built the refinery with Ego Granite. Ego Granite. These are the lies. There was a broadcast, I want to remind this, there was a broadcast made by our leader. He gathered the letter written by Lord Lugard for approval for this North and Southern Protectorate. The intention for that letter is to let them know that indeed you Northern Zoologians, that you are poor. That is what you people are. Very wretched people. You people are very poor. That is why what his name? This demon, Lord Lugard, Frederick Lord Lugard, imagine everybody together, the North and the Southern Protectorate, because they have seen that you people are vulnerable. You people have nothing. You can't even exist without the South, as at that time. Let's continue with the news. The leader of the Northern Consensus Movement, Dr. Awol Abdullahi, has said, proceed from early economic boom of Northern Nigeria and the cotton we are used to build refineries that Southern Nigerians boast about. Hey, when was the oil discovered? That is the question. Before building. When was the oil discovered? Before the oil was discovered in 1960. The oil of Nigeria was discovered in 1960, and 1958, and they started exploring it in 1960. Yes, oil was discovered in Nigeria the first time. The entire zoo. You people could not feed yourself, because if you people could feed on agriculture as at that time, Frederick Lord Lugard wouldn't have begged his master on that letter he wrote for the North and Southern Protectorate to merge together as one, so that they can help the North to grow. not to grow, to survive, because you people are dying. You people are dying. It was when the oil was discovered, they now leave the oil and be taking it abroad. That was the money they gathered to use to build the refinery. Go and check when the so-called refinery was built. These people are liars. That is why it's good to come and debunk them completely. If you don't understand, they remove the history, but they study the history very well. These people. Go to their masalachi, they will be teaching small boys, all those alamajiri, they'll be teaching them history, the truth, and the lie, and tell them the one they will use for politics. But you, they will not let you know at all. Let's continue. He also said the earlier educational achievement of some notable figures from southern Nigeria were made via the northern economy, adding that the north is the economic heart of the Nigeria. In other words, they are telling you that the money they used to train people like Zeke and Awolowo them were the money they gather from granite. Were the money they gather from granite. Imagine these people, how they will compose their lie. Imagine these people, how they compose their lie. The northern group leader, however, also called for a northern version of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, to be funded by the Nigerian government. That is this is their target. As they have NDDC in the Niger, in the so-called oil area they call Niger Delta, they will like it to be formed in their own, so that they will be giving them money also to be eaten, whereby they produce nothing. Their own oil, their own natural resources, they don't want to tap it. They produce nothing. Abdullahi said this at a conference held on Saturday in Abuja, the national capital, while addressing the debate about whether Nigeria should disintegrate or not. Oh, now they are believing Nigeria must disintegrate. You know, before nobody's talking about it. That is why I asked you to push on, because what expires has expired. Nigeria must come to an end. They are talking about the disintegration and non-negotiable zoo. When you start saying all those things, I no go anywhere, I no go anywhere, then don't begin to push you. Say, make you go, make you go. Anytime you see person, they say, I know they go, then something don't they push them to go, you know? Because somebody who relies will not be telling you, I know they go anywhere. Zoo is disintegrating. Today, we are declaring that we, the Northerners, are the economic heart of the zoo. Akokwala, what do you have? Alamajiri everywhere. Alamajiri everywhere. You are the economic heart of the zoo. Whereby Alamajiri can't even eat. It's not sure. As day is breaking now, Alamajiri in the street, in Kaduna State, in Kano, is not sure of 1 square meal, one morning food is not sure of it. Nobody can address us as parasite. That's what you people are. Complete parasite. You relax, they sell oil, they bring money for you. You share in all your maslachis and in all your anguas. We see all these things. You can't do anything. Even the agriculture you are claiming, it is the bank that will give you loan. Sorry, government gives you money that you don't refund back. That is why you go to farm. Those of you that we are even farming, they will give you money for farming every year. We know those things. The oil that is so being boasted to them was discovered, harnessed, and the refineries were constructed with the northern Nigerian sweat, with the northern Nigerian economy, with the northern Nigerian money. Very lie. They export nothing. Nothing was coming from these people's angle. Refinery was built when the oil were discovered, and they start lifting the oil. They now use the money they sold in oil to do what? To start building those refineries that are not working. We must get the fact very clear. Don't mind these people. Days has gone when they will come out and be lying. You come here, we debunk you. The money from Grand North Pyramid and cotton were the one used to research, discover, and build the refinery that some other part of Nigeria have claimed to be their own personal property. If you people were so rich in agriculture like that, in this your granite pyramid and what, that thing is not even pyramid. Go and see it, you know. If they were so rich, why would Lord Lugard, Frederick Lugard, that yoke everybody together, begging for North and Southern Protectorate to be one? Why? He would have allowed you people stupidity. That is why they yoke together. Merge everybody together there. You are telling me it's money from what? Nonsense. Liars. Abdullahi Kekeriani, wallahi. If that be the case, we also deserve, just like NDDC and Niger Delta Ministry, that there should be Northern Development Ministry that should also be given the same amount of money given to NDDC, because our money was used to develop the oil. That's number one. You see, this their intention is just, before you know it now, they will push such a thing, they open some money, despite the money they have pumped into Boko Haram, money they have pumped into insurgency, questioning insurgency and whatever. It's not even, they want everything these people they have given to the so-called Niger Delta to be given to them. Criminals. They produce nothing, just sit down, they eat. Even their land, they can't even invest, put hand in the agriculture. They can't focus on the so-called agriculture now. Number two, those that got early education in the south, southwest, and southeast got from our own economy, from the northern money of our own sweat. You are a liar. You are a liar. This man is lying. It is by the effort of our people that they saw who we are and what we are doing. That is why they were chosen. Like people like Aguiyi Ironsi them and whatever. It is the braveness they see in them. They took Aguiyi Ironsi, they fought war for them. They went in Congo, they did many things. Him and Fajoyi and what other people, it is they produce, they display what they have, and it was from there they were trained. Not your own money. You have nothing. You people have nothing. You people have nothing. You don't have anything. Our people have been trading. Our people have been trading. Even before then, our people have been trading. It is from the money, from the taxpayer money they gathered and all those things. You people are liars. These people are liars. He went further to say that the North has also discovered huge deposit of oil along Lake Chad Basin and the gold in Gwari, Kaduna State, as well as in Zamfara, respectively, claiming the gold deposit is larger than what South Africa and the Ghana jointly have. Okay, if you people have this thing, why are you insisting? If you are not parasites, why are you insisting in one zoological republic? You are saying now, this Abdullahi is saying that they have discovered oil in Lake Chad and whatever, We know all those things you have. Then why not concentrate on your own? Why can't you concentrate? Because we are not one. I am not an Hausa man or Fulani man, and I can never be. Nothing will change my Igbo nature. I am a typical Igbo man. Igbo man I came, Igbo man I will return. And if reincarnation is true, I will come back as an Igbo man. So nothing concerns me with Hausa. You need to, why not you, when you have discovered oil in Lake Chad, in Gwari, in Zamfara, and whatever, why are you still insisting in the so-called zoological republic? Why not you move? Why not you move for the disintegration? Why not move for the disintegration? You people are liars, wicked people. And it's true. You see how they are killing Southern Kaduna people. You see how they are killing Kaduna people. It's because of the natural resources they have found within that area. And in Zamfara, because the original Hausa people live in that Zamfara, and they are killing them gradually, eliminating them. The Fulanis are eliminating them, And some part of the what do you call it? This area within the Borno State, there are some certain natural resources discovered there. They now use Boko Haram to cover it so that you will not go and tap it. They know what they are doing, but I'm telling you, oil is going down. As time goes on, it will become useless. It's just as coal to some areas now, So the earlier you pull yourself and start using it, the better for you than bringing useless brain. Let's see, talk about gold. He went further to say that they're not, okay, and the gold deposit, they have gold also larger than that of South Africa. Larger than that of South Africa. But now they are mining their gold illegally. Their gold mining is illegal. Even some Chinese are helping them to mine and go and sell. Useless set of people. But the oil in Biafra State, from where the de facto Biafra president come from, belongs to Jigawa State. Jigawa people. But look at him now telling you about the gold in Zamfara. And they are mining it illegally. Telling you how large it is. These people are wicked. The northern zoologians are wicked people. Wicked parasite. There are parasites you will see. You just say, let's leave this parasite to survive. It's not wicked. But there are wicked parasites in agriculture. If you go to bush, that parasite will intertwine itself with that tree or that particular crop you plant. Not just only to survive, but to kill that particular plant. And this parasite cannot exist without that main thing he's killing. That is how these northerns, they don't have brain, cow brains. That is how they reason. You know, you have all these things and you're still killing people. Why not disintegrate the zoo? Why not move the motion for the disintegration of the Zoological Republic immediately so that you go and enjoy what you have? They will not. Why maintaining that? Then the North still want a united Nigeria, he added, if there should be a disintegration, the North is adequately prepared for it and should not be a parasite. Then why are you waiting? If you have this thing, you are talking about united, you know that it can never work. We can't stay together. We cannot stay together in Nigeria. From year to year, it is fight, ethnicity, religion, ethnicity, religion. Then you know you have your own thing. Why are you wasting time? People are dying. The people are dying, becoming poor and poor. Economy is going down as a result of religious issue, ethnic issue that have been making people not to move forward. Why are you not? Why are you still behaving like a parasite? Why not you speak out, Abdullahi? You are the one that I'm talking to. Take this message to the so-called Abdullahi. If you people are ready, you have all this and you are ready, why are you wasting your time? You're supposed to move for the disintegration immediately. Don't say united. You are united in nothing. We can never be one. Igbo man can, even if you like, come and marry the whole beautiful girl in Igbo land. That cannot make an Igbo man to like you. I'm telling you the gospel truth. And that cannot make an Hausa man or Fulani man to like me. We are not one. We can be neighbors and do things, but yoking us together, binding us together, it no go work. We are going right and you are going left. That is how it is. And we need to stay with our own people, with our own brothers, our own cousins. We understand each other. Our value system is the same. Our religion, faith is the same. Our understanding is the same. Our natural things are the same. So go your way. And by the grace of God today, northern Nigeria also has discovered oil along Gombe, Bauchi, and Taraba, along Lake Chad Basin, and that was why those people have been instigating Boko Haram, so that there will be no peace in that region for us to harness the oil and other wealth discovered in that area. You know the truth. These are the things, because the Islamic sect want to capture that area as a result of what is underground. Then why not you people go and settle your problem and leave us alone? You have all these things and you are disturbing us, you know. We also have a deposit of gold in Briningwari that is more than the deposit of gold in South Africa. Look at South Africa and Ghana. And that's why we are having banditries in Briningwari axis, so that we will not be able to harness it. The same goes for Zamfara. That's why we are having banditry within that axis. So we are saying enough is enough. Enough is enough is only do what? Divide Nigeria. You people are allowed bringing in more Fulani to kill the indigenous people within this area that you have surveyed and discovered that there are enough of a mineral resources there. You are bringing Fulanis to kill, to intimidate. Then before you know it, now UN will come and settle, and they will give you those land, and you people will start exploiting those natural resources. But it's not going to work, because the eyes of people are opening now. If we will continue to coexist in Nigeria, as Nigerians, the northerners are ready to do that, and that's why we have been accommodating today the number of our people that are being killed and the properties destroyed in the south, southwest, and southeast is more than those in Kano and Kaduna. There is nothing they are destroying. Nobody destroy your things. Nobody destroy your things in the south. Unless the terrorists in the bush, any terrorists in the bush must go down. Nobody is destroying anybody's property. There is no any northerners doing a legitimate business in the south that will say that his properties have been destroyed. You people are liars. It is you that will go inside the town, kill the Igbo people in the city, and burn their shops. That is your duty. You have been doing it. The records are there. The number of Yoruba and Igbo residing in Kano and Kaduna alone are far greater than the entire investment of the northerners living in south-south, southwest, and the southeast. If you remove BUA and Dangote, those are international business. We all know that, and our people are law-abiding in the north. The Yorubas in the north are law-abiding. The Igbos in the north are law-abiding. They never destroy people's farm. They never do anything against the government or whatever. It is you people that bring problem. But you people in the south will bring cow. You take your cow to destroy people's farm, rape women, kill them. You people will do all manner of things. You go and take land, build your mosque. Very early in the morning, you will be shouting. People cannot sleep. The bishop in Nsukka is saying it. You will be shouting, disturbing people. There is nobody who will do such a thing. Nobody who will go and build a church in the within the Muslim area and be singing and praising God and binding and shouting in the church. Nobody will do that. You people will go and kill the person. But in the south, these are the things you are doing. These are the things you people are doing. If so, you will continue to destroy the life. If you continue to destroy the lives and investment of our people residing in your area, what if we decide to retaliate? What are you doing? Who is going to be the loser? We want you to start. We want Nigeria to end today. No need giving the excuse. Destroy everything. Let the zoo end now. Start it. If you are a man, start it. No need talking if. You are putting fear in people using the word if. If we do this, if we do that, so that people will be panicking. Do it. You people have been doing it. Why you people have not started your nonsense in the north is because you know that the moment you kick it up, the zoo will end, and you guys are parasites. You people are parasites. Even when you have the natural resources, you can't even implement it. You don't know how to use it. All you are good is just to sit in office. They sell money, they sell oil, bring dollar, and you share. That's what you are good for. That is what an average northern zoologian, average Fulani, and Hausa people in the office can do. I'm telling you. They sit down, you sell the oil, give them the money, they share, put in their pocket, and go their way. That is what they presently now. That is the only thing they are good. They are telling you the things that have discovered in the north. Why can't they start exporting it? They can't. The brain is not there. The brain is zero. Zero. Z-E-R-O. Zero. The brain is zero. The strength to do is not there. It's just to intimidate you, to frustrate you, to make you to be their servant. How can an illiterate make an educated? It's only in the zoo you see all those things. It's only in the zoo. The boss in the office is track illiterate that can't even write his name, transmitting. But you come and see, go and buy a southern secretary that will be writing good things for him, telling him what to do. We saw the Minister of Defense that went for a burial ceremony, and he can't even speak from his own brain. That kind of meeting is when you go, you speak what is in your mind. Somebody dies, you just feel about him. He's reading from what they gave to him. He can't even read. He can't even compose from his heart. This is the level of the dead brain from the Northern Zoological Republic that is ruling the zoo for a very long time. And that is why you can't, at this time, look at coal everywhere, look at gas. You can't get electricity till today. No good road. You what to fix road is there. The asphalt and everything is there. It's just put it together. You can't, they will not let you be. Common water. When the white people left the zoo, there was water board. We are working very well in some certain city. Today it's not working. It's borehole. It's borehole because this brain is in charge. Dead brain is in charge. They are what they know: loot money, share money, and eat food. That's all. marry 4 wives, or the number you can, producing Almajiri everywhere. Go to the street, everywhere is Almajiri, telling you that the one who bring money to build the zoo, to train our own patrons that have gone. These are liars. These people are liars. If you don't debunk them now, somebody somewhere will just buy this idea and be moving with it, pitying them, not knowing that this is a snake on the street. You want to pity it. You don't know that the moment it gather energy, it will bite you. That is who they are. Let's continue. But if you go to Kaduna and Kaduna, Kano, and other part of the northern Nigeria, an Igbo man owns personal house with CFO. He owns skyrocket house that he even rent out to the northerners themselves. You go to a remote village, you find out he is having a farm in his own, his personal farmland. You don't have a northerner that owns a house in the southern Nigeria. Good and fine. You made mention it. This man made mention it. He said that you will see an Igbo man with a house and the land farm and whatever with C of O. In other words, this Igbo man acquired it legally. He didn't go inside people's forest and clear it and stay there. And from there coming out to torment people. That owning a property with C of O means that the government is aware that it is legitimate. You know? But your own people in the south, just like that, one day you enter a particular bush inside your forest. You now see people have settled there. Our Fulani have settled there with their cattle, building tents. These are the things that are going. Where did they acquire the C of O? Abdullahi. Abdullahi that said this. You are the one I'm asking. Where did they acquire their C of O? You must begin to speak for the disintegration. That is the only way. That is where peace will come. Finally, we are saying we are ready to coexist with Nigerians. You are not any ready. We don't want. But if otherwise, and the things will continue like this, we are going to separate from Nigeria. Good and fine. In fact, we are more ready to separate from Nigeria. Abdullahi said, Abdullahi, Arabamanak, let's separate. If you are sure of what we are saying, if you are sure of what we are saying, separate. Because coexisting cannot help. We have been coexisting. You people are parasite. It's just like somebody running a race with some clothes that are so heavy. You know, if you see people that went to Olympic, they are running. They wear light clothes, nothing. You know, so that you can move fast. But in the zoological republic, it's like you are running, you are an athlete, you are running, things are in your pockets, you know, where and there. You can't move, you can't exercise very well. You know, that is how it is. So the earlier, the better. Let's take this one. Twitter ban. Nigerian government threatened to suspend Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and others. You see, this is the Lion Mohammed talking. It's possible. If the heat is too much, somebody like Lai Mohammed will suspend it. The Nigerian government has threatened to suspend all social media platforms that allow their apps to be used to propagate division of the country, though inflammatory statements or posts. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, stated this before the House of Representatives Joint Committee on Information, Justice and Communication on Tuesday at the National Assembly in Abuja while answering questions on the ban on Twitter microblogging sites. It is in this meeting that Lai Mohammed now told them that he will also do what? Ban your Facebook, Instagram, and other platforms, other social media platforms, for you to see how useless these people are, how wicked they are, and how they are ready they are to make sure they force you into zoo. Because it was through this social media that Nigeria were exposed. Nigeria were exposed through social media. And since then, NTA become useless. Who tunes to NTA again? Who tuned to NTA again? Because that is where they had been cooking this lie since the 70s, 80s, 90s. imposing it into your brain. You'll be following them, just as this Abdullahi now just come out and tell you that it is the money they gather from the granite that they couldn't even feed well. That is what they used to build the refinery in the south. Could you imagine? These are the kind of stories you'll be hearing on NTA. So social media has come out now so that everybody can speak on his own, from his own platform. They want to block it. Lai Mohammed is telling you, you are talking about Twitter. Lai Mohammed is telling you that equal PM a block working on Facebook, even block working on Instagram and WhatsApp, all of them. Hey, there's a logical republic. This is Radio Biafra Hausa service too, coming to you from the platform of Radio Biafra London under the leadership of one and only Onyendu MAZI Nnamdi Kanu Ohamadike, one of Biafra land. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is the only incorruptible leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. He is the director of Radio Biafra and her television, and he's the commander of the armies of Biafra. We will come back now and do in-house version. Just a very quick one before our time runs out. We'll be right back now.
Kakantaran wanga ai mai da ahu babu riga ta kirki jiki nai kace wani ai ina da talauci yaya kai hakka san zuciyarsa sha'anin mutum mai wuyan gane hali o dan adam mai wuyan gane hali wadannan mutum kai yake kyautata ma wadannan mutum kai yake kyautata mai wadannan mutum kai yake muna na mai wadannan mutum shi yake muna na mai kace can mutum mai wuyan gane hali o dan adam mai wuyan.
Jama'a assalamu alaikum, ina kwanan ku, ina gajiya, ina wuni, duk inda kake mun ce ina kwana, ina gajiya, ina wuni, saboda lokaci ba daya bane, kuma Allah ya yi ta da gangan domin ya dinga nuna maka wani abu. Kowane lokaci za mu fito mu tuna maka wannan abun domin kai ka dinga bi maganan Allah. Maganan Allah zai fita a bakin kowa ne, jama'a. Kuma idan ka bi sa abu zai yi maka kyau. Abin da yasa abu baya tafiya Najeriya saboda ba gaskiya, a dinga bin gaskiya. Jama'a ba lokaci yo, amma da karamin lokacin da muka da shi za mu dan sa baki a wannan su magana. Ga maganan da aka yi a Abuja, ana magana ko za a raba Najeriya ko bara a raba Najeriya ba. Ga wata mutum sunan shi Abdullahi, da maganan da ya yi, shi ya fito yana giya mutane kariya akan wannan conference da aka yi a Abuja. Shi ya zo yana giya mutane wai kudin da aka samu, kudin da aka gini refinery da wanda aka kai wanansu manyan mu makaranta lokacin, wai daga arewa ne aka kawo shi, amma kariya ne. Muna giya musu ku kariya ne, irin wannan kariya a daina fadai, saboda irin wannan kariya ne ike sa gida wuta, ike kawo wuta cikin gida. Zaka hada wannan kariya kawai, zaka gani wuta, gida zai kama wuta gaba daya, jama'a. Lokacin da aka hada Nigeria a 1914, a shekarar 1914, lokacin abin da ya sa aka hada Nigeria kudu da arewa, an ce saboda arewa ba su da kudi. Arewa ba su iya zona idan aka bar su zona da kansu. Shi ya san wannan turawa sunan shi Lolugard, ya hada mu gaba daya, ya hada kanmu gaba daya, jama'a. Shi ya san wannan abun ya faru. Shi ya sa ya faru. To ga yanzu wannan kuma ya fito yana giya ma duniya kariya, wai saboda shi ne kaza ne kudin da aka samu a wajen aka gini refinery. Yaushe ne wani lokaci aka discover oil a Nigeria? An samu oil a 1958. 1958 ne aka gane wannan mai a Nigeria. To aka fara fito da mai din a 1960. Lokacin ne aka fara to kaje ka tunani wani lokaci aka yi ginin refinery din. Refinery wanda shi ke magana, wani lokaci, wani shekara aka gine ta. A nuna maka irin kariya wanda wannan mutane suke hadawa akan mutane. Irin wannan kariyan da suke hadawa akan mutane yayi. Kuma irin wannan kariya shine ike kawo damuwa a daina. Shi yana magana dai wai an samu wanansu abubuwa a arewa. To a fara fito da shi mana domin mutane su ci abinci. An bari sa saboda wannan nadan arewa ne. wannan na dan arewa ne aka bar su ga mai wanda ya ce ya fada da gold da komi baya fito da shi ba amfani da shi aka bar su a wajen shi dai yana magana saboda irin wannan abun a bar su dai domin a bude irin wannan ministry wanda aka bude a Niger Delta a bude musu kuma ana ta ba su kudi to idan ka ce kuna da irin wannan abubuwa to yaya ne za a bude maka ministry a wajen kuma a je a doko kudin na wani ne a zo ana baku a bude mai na kuma na saboda shi ya fada wai akwai mai akwai gold wanda ya fi na South Africa da na Ghana a kasan to a fara amfanin sa mana babu an zo an kawo bandit da wannan sunsu jama'in wannan dai kariya ne shi ya fada wai idan ana so a raba masu suna so Nigeria zoma daya ba wanda yake so Nigeria zoma daya mu ba ma so Nigeria zoma daya saboda ni ba dan arewa bane kuma ba abin da zai sa ni in zoma dan arewa bane ke ka gane kuma kai dan arewa ne ba abin da zai sa kai ka zoma dan kudu ne saboda mu ba daya bane yawa mu ba daya bane kai ka je ka zo na kan kam ni in zo na gona domin a samu lafiya idan zan zo garin ka zan zo wajen da respect idan ka ce shigo zan shigo in ka ce karan shigo zan koma gari na haka ne ana yi a duniya gaba daya ba wai a zo a tare mu a wuri daya ne jama'a irin wannan abun muna giya muku kowane lokaci domin abin da za a yi tun da arewa sun fito suna cacan baki wai suna da wannan suna da kaza ga mai a Maiduguri ga a Chadi ga a ina ne ga Kaduna ga to araba kowai zai huta saboda mun san abin da yasa aka yi fada na Biafra wanda aka yi shekara 50 da wani abu wanda ya wuce saboda mai din ne saboda arewa sun sani idan hannun su ba cikin wannan mai nasu ya kare gaba daya rayuwarsu ya kare to yanzu tun da sun gane akwai mai din a arewa kuma ba lafiya a Nigeria me yasa ana hada kanmu muna kashe juna araba mana domin su ci gaba da mai da golidin su da banditry din su da Boko Haram da ISWAP da komi wanda suke shigo a cikin Nigeria araba mana domin mutane su samu lafiya a raba mana domin talakawa samu lafiya ba wai a fita na mana cacan baki za yi muna da kudi kuna da kaza a garin ku aka samu kudi aka yi ga almajiri ko ina ne almajiri yau ma gari yana waye yanzu almajiri a Kano shi bai san ko zai ci abinci yau ko bari ci ba na daya abinci na rana daya fa shi bai san ko zai ci ko bai ci ba mutum zai tashi ce mana wai araba suna kaza ne menene tumatir menene albasar menene tatashe shine sai ka sayar ka samu irin kudin da baban gida da Abacha da Abdulsalam suke sata ko da irin wanda baban Buhari wanda ya mutu yanzu da wannan su masu aiki tumukoshi aiki suna sata yanzu a albasa zaka samu irin wannan kudi jama'a to tun da kun ce kuna da kudin ga kuma kun samu mai akan a garinku a raba kawai kada fata lokaci jama'a shine labarinmu na daya na biyu kuma Lai Muhammad wannan tsohon banza wanda bakinsa ya cika da kariya yake fara kowane lokaci kwanakin baya ya fito ya ce wai wani yaran shi ya tambaye shi yaya ne ana kiran shi mai kariya ya ce yaya ne zai fara yi mishi maganan siyasa ya shi zai fara yi komi sai an hada da siyasa mutum yana bikin zunubi zai hada shi da siyasa ashe irin wannan halin da shi wannan soho yake yi yanzu zai fito giya duniya wai siyasa ne ai sohon banza fito yanzu yana giya muku wai har ma tweet an kira shi a Abuja a gidan yan majalisa abin da yasa aka hana Twitter aiki a Nigeria shi kuma a wajen da yana giya musu dai ku bari dai kuna maganan Twitter har WhatsApp har Facebook har Google har Instagram wannan platform gaba daya wai za a rufe shi idan mutanen Nigeria ba su shiga hankalinsu ba fa shi ke giya musu to tambaya ana democracy ne a Nigeria inda ana irin wannan abun bara bari mutane su yi magana idan kana so ka yi magana ka yi mana kai mai gida ne tunda kai mai gida ka zo na kujira kana miliki dole ne mutane su yi maka maganan banza ana yi wannan abun ko ina ne a duniya har America har a Ingila a France a Spain za yi maka magana idan kai shugaban saboda abun ya sa kai ka zama shugaban amma a Nigeria baya haka yi amma shi ya fito yana ga muku wai idan ba ku shiga hankalin ku bane ku yan Nigeria wai ga abun da zai karu kuma gobe zaka tashi zaka ji wai an rufe Facebook a Nigeria Instagram baya aiki da wannan su abu irin gwamnatin da suke kawo mana a Nigeria irin wannan abin muke gaya muku araba ga kai kuma kai kana shan wahalan ne ina shan wahalan kowa yana shan wahalan ba lafiya amma idan za a raba a wajen ne abu zai yi mana kyau saboda ba lokaci liyo za mu bar maganan mu a nan za mu dan bude hanyar mu a yanzu ko minti 5 ko 10 kafin mu bar zan ce muku assalamu alaikum.
Run for your life, oh. Blood sucking demons, run for your life, oh. All these abus, run for your life, oh. If you go
This is Radio Biafra Hausa Service 2 coming to you from the platform of Radio Biafra London under the leadership of one and only Onyendu MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike, one of Biafra land. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is the only incorruptible leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. He's the director of Radio Biafra and her television, and he's the commander of the armies of Biafra. Right now, just within 10 minutes, we have to leave the studio. Our lines are open right now. You can call in just a brief one with this number, +183-263-73499. +183-263-73499. +183-263-73499 or +614-818-70925 +614-818-70925 +614-818-70925 +183-263-73499. Let's take this call. Caller, you are live on air right now. Presume should be Desmond. You are lucky. Just make it a quick one. Desmond, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, WE. Good morning from here.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you, one. A quick one. Good morning, dear friends, and our leader, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. MAZI, please let me quickly give out our numbers for us to support ACN for Biafra in Italy. This number is from the IPOB National Body, signed by the IPOB National Coordinator, strictly for the support of ACN. Please, for all Biafrans in Italy, call +39 35100 46055. I repeat, +39 35100 46055. This number is for the IPOB National Coordinator in Italy, and the second number is +39 3512 551274. I repeat, +39 3512 551274. This number is for the IPOB National PRO in Italy. Sorry, I wanted to say in Lagos, in Italy. So, MAZI, thank you for your good work this morning. You see, what I want to say is that our people must listen to our leader, follow the disciplinary steps and other things. Our leaders' instruction and directive. That is all. That is all. Thank you very much, MAZI, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Thank you very much for the quick one. Let's take this call. Caller on the line, tell us your name and where you're from. Caller, can you hear me?
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
WACHINEKE.
You are welcome. Yesterday, our line was just doing up and down.
Yeah, it's network here. I discovered it's network.
You're welcome.
How are you doing, bro?
We are fine by the grace of God.
Okay. Fellow Biafrans, good morning. I'm so glad to hear that. Good morning, fellow Biafrans. This is Sonia Dede calling from Amba. I just want to say good morning to my fellow Biafrans. Brother, what you are saying about the Hausa, the Fulani, let me say Fulani people. I watched the video where the man was lamenting and throwing crabs from his mouth. You know, I remember when I used to live in Kano State around 1993. These people believe in lies. I watched the video when he was saying that the oil that was discovered in our land here in Biafra land, the money that was used to build the refineries and all that, we are taking from the north, that federal government need to compensate them and all those crap. When you look at the man speaking, you know that the words that he was commenting was hanging to show you that he is lying. I don't know why these people keep doing that. That was a great punishment to us Biafra land to be with these Fulani people. These people are evil. How can they use the money in the north to build refineries in our land? Whereas the creator of Nigeria said that the reason why he's joining the north and the southern protectorates together is because the north are very poor. So where did they get that money? I remember even before, during the war, our people were refining crude oil in Owerri. So how can they be the one that use their money to build the refineries? When you listen to those, you know that the man is a criminal and is lying. I don't blame them. This is what we got ourselves into, all because of British putting us together. We have no relationship with these people. Our lifestyle, our food, everything that we do is quite different from each other. I don't know why we should be in this country. We need to divide this country so that everybody will go their way. We don't have any single relationship between the people from the north and the people from the south. We have no relationship with them. Even when they came in our midst to live among us, they always feel so inferior staying with us.
Exactly.
But when I stay with maybe
time is not on my side. Huh? Just round it
okay,
up.
I'm just gonna round up now. I'm running up now.
Yeah,
when somebody let's say okay, bye.
All right. Next caller, can you hear me? Just 1 minute before we go off them.
Good morning.
You are welcome, brother.
Hello. Good morning. My name is I'm coming from Lagos, and I'm from Imo. So, what I'm is that our side in Ngopala, we are not receiving any signal of Biafra. Some parts in Ngopala, they are country country, which is bad.
But I'm not.
So that's my question.
I'm not understanding what you're saying. Your line is too fast.
Saying like from industry, like I'm from Lagos, I'm living in Lagos. Some parts in Ngopala, they are receiving any signal.
What is happening in Ngopala? Huh?
Any signal. They are not receiving any signal of Biafra. They don't know what they are talking. They don't know what they are talking.
Okay, the radio is not working in Ngopala. The radio is not working.
Yes, and we are not seeing any people.
Our technicians are listening. Ekeroneke is listening.
Yes.
They will be fixing.
Yes.
See what is happening in all these things based on the situation. The men that will go and fix it have to be careful. They have to be careful in movement. So it's not something they'll just rush immediately and do. But it's good as you report. So what I will advise you is to continue to be reporting. When you keep on calling the whole radio station to alert them that the radio in so area is not working, so that because people are not listening, so that they will know and go and fix it. But you people have to be a bit patient for us, because it is something that they have to calculate their movement and everything.
Yeah, and some of our leaders here, they don't hear about this Biafra. They are not receiving any signal, like people coming to tell them about this Biafra. Some of them are allowed people that is counting census. They are counting census. Some of this government. Some of them they are counting census in some of the community there, and it is not right.
Okay, noted. People have to. It's through radio now we can pass message, because all the normal evangelism that used to be done then will not be held again as a result of the situation, because we have passed that stage. It is through radio message that everybody will gather information. And thank you very much. It's been noted.
Okay.
Those in authority, those in charge knows what to do. They'll make sure that our radio station is talking all over Biafra land and beyond. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I promise I will be reporting. Yeah, I promise I will be reporting any information that I heard from you.
Very important. Information is power, because the zoo themselves, it is through information that they are the little thing you think they are doing. It is through information that will psych 1 or 2 people and gather something. So we also need those information. Our people need to rise up. All right, brother, we'll have
Thank
to
you,
end it
sir.
here. Other callers, I'm really sorry. I won't be able to take your call. Thank you very much for being part of this program because time is not on
Thank
my
you, sir.
side. I have to go. Thank you very much, and may the Most High bless us all. Father, we thank you, we bless you, we glorify your name, we give you praise, be thou exalted, Abba Father, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Ninsi. We return every glory, honor, adoration unto your holy name because you alone is God. We thank you for the beautiful things you are doing in our life. We thank you for everything. Heavenly Father, we thank you also for the life of our leader, for the life of the ESN, for the life of Biafrans all over the world, and for our land. We thank you, Lord God Jehovah. We say, blessed be your holy name. Abba Father, Jehovah, my Lord and my God. We ask you, Lord, to continue to bless your people to the glory of your name. Jehovah Jireh, that at the end, oh Lord, your people, Lord God Jehovah, will come to you in Biafra land and worship you in truth and in every honesty. Heavenly Father, this we pray and believe that you have answered us as we make this prayer in the beautiful name of your beloved Son, Yeshua HaMashiach. And I leave you with this word. The Bible said, thou shalt rise and remember Zion. It is time to show her mercy. The appointed time is now. Psalm 102, verse 13. Shalom.
No cassava, rice or yam, our farmers at home, no more work because of fear. Fear the killers, fear their lives. Oh, yeah. Eastern Security Network has come to stay. Eastern Security Network has come to stay.
It's always been thought that violence and corruption during elections in Nigeria are homegrown problems, ones that Britain tried hard to prevent by bequeathing a system of fair and honest democracy before granting the country independence in 1960.
Look, we are not kids. We are mature people and the country is mature. We are giants of Africa.
But according to our document, the unpublished memoirs of a former British colonial officer, London's parting gift was, in reality, a lesson in how to rig the polls and deceive the people.
This is the story of evil committed by kind, nice, decent British politicians. They sought to keep Britain from bankruptcy and found a solution in the mineral-rich empire on the point of independence. It was necessary to bend the rules, and sadly, in due course, the rules were.
In 1956, Nigerian children sang to welcome the Queen as she toured some of their country's new democratic institutions. And in January 1960, on his way to South Africa to make his famous speech, warning that a wind of change was blowing through the continent, the British Prime Minister, Harold Macmillan, stopped off in Lagos to give the Nigerian Parliament some pearls of wisdom from the world's longest-standing democracy.
So long as we value the freedom of speech, freedom to express our opinions, I know of no better system than a fairly elected parliament for giving people the sort of government they want.
Those who got in the way were innocent, like the colonial peoples, but both had to be dealt with quite harshly.
Back in the 1950s, Harold Smith, an idealistic young Oxford graduate, was settling into life as a British colonial official in the Nigerian capital Lagos, with his wife Carol and their young daughter. Important regional elections were to be held that year, followed by a national poll 3 years later, just ahead of independence. Harold had his part to play in the preparations, drawing up new laws aimed at ensuring that Britain left Nigeria an orderly and stable place. But his faith in the integrity of the project was soon to be shattered.
In 1956, I was in Lagos on the staff of the Ministry of Labour when I received the secret file, which had a minute, which ordered me to get involved in the regional elections which were taking place. It told me to take all the vehicles of the Ministry of Labour, all the staff, the clerical staff, and as many senior staff as I could find, to act on behalf of the minister. And the chap was called Festus Akoti Igbo, and carry out the ministers, their appointing ministers' instructions, and get his party colleagues elected.
Festus was a flamboyant political figure who'd been appointed Minister of Labour. He was also treasurer of one of Nigeria's main political parties, the NCNC, which had its power base in the east. Harold Smith says he was shocked to be asked to interfere in the election on behalf of the NCNC candidates, standing for seats in the minister's constituency.
To have cars and trucks in the bush at all gave you tremendous prestige. All people had were bikes. If a fleet of vehicles with maybe 30 or 40 staff of clerks and administrators had suddenly descended, they'd have made a very big impact. This was official, this was government stuff.
Why did the British want you to help ensure that this man, or at least his colleagues, were elected?
Because the plan was to put the North in government, in power. The elections were just to be fixed.
A very serious accusation that Britain, which advertised its withdrawal from empire as a model of fairness and democracy, was allegedly rigging, or at the very least, giving advantage to a favoured party in the polls. Can such an allegation be substantiated? I took Mr. Smith's claims to the director of the Centre of African Studies at Oxford University, Professor David Anderson.
In the 1950s, virtually all the British colonies were moving towards independence in Africa, and there were elections taking place everywhere. It would not be unfair to say that in almost every single colony, the British attempted to manipulate the result to their advantage. Indeed, it would be surprising if, as the colonial power, they'd not done so.
At this time, Nigeria was divided into 3 regions, each with these. Partition was a very real threat, and given their experiences in India, something the British were determined to avoid. Traditionally, the colonial power had enjoyed a close relationship with the largely Islamic north of Nigeria. This part of the country was more conservative and less developed than the rest. Here, the British operated a system of indirect rule, governing through the local emirs. Professor David Anderson.
The north of Nigeria was not only largely Islamic, it was deeply conservative. And therefore, it was ideologically going to oppose the Pan-Africanism and internationalism that tended to mark southern politics in Nigeria. So for sure, the British saw the north as an important bulwark against what they might have termed unnecessary radicalism.
And the fear of radical political ideas, in other words, communism, was key to British policy in Africa in the 1950s.
Communism was thought of as a very serious threat in West Africa, because the kind of socialism it fed upon in Africa was driven by massive poverty and very low levels of education. Therefore, British analysts at the time thought West African populations were vulnerable to communism.
In order to ensure that, come independence, their interests would be represented by their conservative friends in the north, the British had virtually created and strongly backed a political party for the region, the NPC. but it could not hope to win enough votes nationally to win outright. So the British needed to ensure that they had the support of either the Eastern or Western parties. This would explain why Harold Smith claims he was ordered to divert resources to help candidates standing for the Party of the East, the NCNC, led by one of the founding fathers of Nigerian nationalism, Dr. Ezekwe, also known as Zik.
They had to fix Zik. And of course, there was stuff they could have got him for, sent him to prison. But they didn't. He was forced to do a deal with the North. This great nationalist had to do a deal with these illiterate peasants in the North. And that's what happened.
Whatever the true motives of the British administration, to this day Harold Smith is adamant that the order to interfere with the elections came from the highest authority in the colony, the Governor-General himself, Sir James Robertson. Recorded here during the royal visit in 1956.
To the Queen's Most Excellent Majesty, I have the honour to offer to your Majesty and to His Royal Highness, the Duke of Edinburgh, our most loyal welcome, and to express our deep and sincere appreciation of your gracious presence today.
He was a thug, and he had a terrible reputation, Robertson. He wasn't talking about people when he talked about Africans. They weren't people, they weren't human beings. We loved Africa. But these people who came in to do this job were a different breed. These were the ex-SOE and MI6, and they thought that they were British. And they were.
Smith claims several of his colleagues were also asked to interfere in the elections, and they reluctantly fell in line, leaving him alone in his refusal to obey Robertson's orders. Isolated but still defiant, he was finally granted an audience with his boss at Government House.
I go up and I see him, and the first thing he says, I want you to know that everything that you've alleged about the elections is correct. I'm telling you this because you know far too much, and I want you to know how much trouble you're in. The Colonial Service is just like the army. You know what happens if you disobey orders in active service, and that's what's going to happen to you. I thought, and I was shocked. And this big guy, I was so angry that I really wouldn't have been surprised if he pulled out a pistol and shot me.
There's a huge array of files here. Are these all your correspondence on the side?
In the spare room of Harold and Carol Smith's home, piles of paperwork fill a large metal filing cabinet, much of it copies of unanswered letters to the great and the good, detailing Harold's allegations.
Doing this for many years.
With no recordings of the conversations he claims took place, and no copies of the orders he says given, he's unable to prove the serious claims he's making. The Smiths have fought a long, lonely and largely fruitless battle to have his story heard, but with nothing on paper and all those who could back up his story dead, why should anyone believe him? His wife, Carol.
You're quite right. We have not got written evidence and things we can say, there you are. I know Harold's telling the truth. You either believe us or you don't.
What makes you so convinced that Harold isn't mistaken on this?
I've known him, I've been married to him for 55 years. I know what he's like. I know the sort of person he is. I know the sort of values he holds. I don't think I would have had the courage to do what he's done, but at least I've had the courage to stay and support him in what he's doing.
Most of the people were elected unopposed because they tended to arrest the opposition, to exile them and beat them up and even kill them if they kept pushing their luck.
Academic and novelist Patrick Wilmot taught sociology at Ahmadu Bello University in Nigeria for 18 years. He believes Smith's allegations expose only a small part of the lengths British colonial officials were prepared to go to in the north in an effort to ensure that Britain's favoured party, the NPC, got elected unopposed.
The British were in control, the so-called native authority. The emirs the local police, all of that was under British control and supervision. These people, they could have been removed, they could have been stopped at any time, but they were actually encouraged because the British wanted to hand over to them and they wanted them to control the northern region, which was the most powerful region in the country.
But you'd imagine that a government may have official control of an area, but it wouldn't always know what exactly people are doing on the ground in terms of the sort of thuggery you're talking about.
The British were completely aware because they had their officials at every level in the police, the security services, they had control of the army. The key thing was to prevent people from running against you.
What evidence do you have for these allegations?
No, these are not allegations. If you go to Nigeria, everybody from the professors in the university to the people in the streets will tell you that this has happened. I mean, there are history books written, but most of these history books will not have the sort of knowledge that people who will talk to you in Nigeria have.
Time to look for answers in Nigeria then. Children play behind the Reformed Christian Church of God in Arima town in southern Nigeria, outside the home of a man who's been part of the struggle for freedom and democracy in Nigeria all his life.
I'm Comrade Che Ibegura. I am now 74 years old. I'll be clocking 75 on November 16 this year.
On the walls are pictures of the leaders of Nigeria's independence movement, as well as a poster of his namesake, the Cuban revolutionary Che Guevara. In the 1950s, when Nigeria was still under British rule, he was a trade union leader and a member of Dr. Azikwe's NCNC, with strong opinions about the real intentions of the colonial power.
By 1956, I was 24 years old. So as at that time, I was an activist. I started to draw political inspiration when I was about 20. See, I'm from a Christian background and believed in justice. And I know quite well that their intention was not to develop us.
Che Ibegura believes that Nigeria's first democratic elections were far from free and fair under British rule, and that little has changed since they left.
Nigerians just got what was already on ground from the British. They started operating from what they saw. Whatever we are trying to experience from Nigeria now was the structure laid down by the British.
Harold Smith claims that he was asked by the country's governor to help ensure that a favoured candidate was elected fits with Che's memory of those early Nigerian elections.
Money was flowing to the north, both from the British government, the supporters from the British angle and from the Arab world. No master has ever given his slave the opportunity to rival him. Nigeria is a British baby. They can't just allow Nigeria to play their hands freely. Otherwise, why are they colonial masters?
I've been looking through the papers of some of those colonial masters to see what they were prepared to say about their motives and their methods when it came to Nigeria's first elections, and they make interesting reading, like this letter from one Sir Peter Smithers.
I was Parliamentary Private Secretary of the Colonial Office through almost the whole period of decolonisation. I was present at most of the negotiations for independence, including that of Nigeria.
A secret agent, MP and diplomat, Sir Peter was a dashing figure, rumoured to be the model for Ian Fleming's James Bond. And in this letter, he details his part in the shaping of independent Nigeria, and he makes a frank admission about British attitudes to the leaders in the north, the Kano rulers.
The attraction of the Kano rulers was that they had long and successful experience of government. They therefore offered an obvious choice to head the new experiment. It was in fact difficult at the time to see an alternative for the early stages of independence.
Sir Peter died last year at the age of 92. Sir James Robinson, the Governor-General of Nigeria at independence, and the man Harold Smith alleges ordered him to interfere with the electoral process, died in 1983. But again, his memoirs suggest that he did not always play by the rules. Recalling Nigeria's first general election in 1959, he writes that before all the counting had finished, rumours began to circulate that the NCNC from the east and the Action Group in the west were getting together and might form a coalition. Now, this would be a disaster for Britain's hopes of the Northern Party, the NPC, taking power. Sir James was alarmed to discover that even though there were a number of seats still to be declared, if the Action Group and the NCNC formed a coalition, they would have a majority in the House of Representatives.
I believe this could be very dangerous for Nigeria's future. As from all I'd learned of the Northerners, they might well decide to leave the Federation, for they would not readily accept a national government of Southern parties.
According to Sir James, as Governor-General under the Constitution, he was required to appoint as Prime Minister the person who seemed to him most likely to command a majority in the House of Representatives. In his opinion, even though the count was not yet over, this was the Northern leader, Abu Bakr. And so, after a brief discussion, he invited him to form a government.
And I did so on the grounds that the leader of the party with the greatest number of seats was surely most likely to be able to form a government which would win the support of the House. As far as I remember now, I took this action entirely on my own and did not consult the Secretary of State, for the matter was urgent and could not wait.
So, by his own admission, Sir James Robertson was determined to see the North in control at independence and was prepared to bend the rules to achieve this. But were the British prepared to go as far as interfering in the voting process itself? If so, how was this done? There are those who believe the British had laid the foundations for the electoral success of the North years before by falsifying the results of a national census. Professor David Anderson.
In the 1950s, it was certainly to the advantage of the British to do, as you've described, to increase the population of the North, because it would shift the relative balance of power in the Assembly.
The suggestion that the British were anything other than impartial arbitrators of Nigeria's independence is not popular with veterans of the colonial service, like Gerald Summerhays, who worked in Nigeria from 1952 to 1981, starting out as an assistant district officer before rising to permanent secretary of a ministry in the North. He's adamant that neither he nor anyone he worked with interfered in any way with local elections held in his area, though he does remember talk that the census had been fiddled.
Well, there was various allegations going on. There was one, which I remember, featuring in a newspaper, alleging that a village of 5,000 people had been discovered in one area which had not been counted previously. Well, that sounded, shall we say, a trifle unlikely. The more general allegations were that parts of districts were counted twice, and allegations were made that this was done. I have no knowledge where it was or not. The only place I do know where it wasn't done is where I was dealing with it.
How likely do you think it is that this happened in the North?
The answer is no. Out of the question.
Why is that?
Because it was controlled by the British administration. The British administration would not have done that.
Well, it's the British administration that's being accused of collaborating with local people to ensure that was done for Britain's own interest.
Well, they can accuse it as much as they like, I'm afraid. There's so many it's so easy to make accusations of that type. The only thing I can say, but I was actively involved in it, and I knew the other people who were involved in it, and many of them, and I do not believe that one of them for one moment would ever have done anything like this.
But you can't be sure they didn't, can you?
You can't be certain of anything, can you, unless you see it yourself? If there had been any involvement of that, there would have been some form of policy statements, there would have been some form of suggestions from above that should have been done, and I would have heard that myself, because I don't think for one moment they would have given it just to one or two people. One would have heard it widely, and I did not hear it, and in fact I've been absolutely horrified to the mere thought of it.
It's very difficult to find evidence that elections have been rigged. People tend not to write about these things. If one sees ballot boxes being stuffed, voters being bussed around, if one uncovers fraud on the electoral roll, these are all forms of proof. But the elections in Nigeria in 1959, none of those things were reported.
But it seems that finding the evidence is perhaps less of a problem than actually getting my hands on it. Amongst the hundreds of files housed in London's National Archives that cover this period of British rule in Nigeria are two marked closed for 100 years. They deal with the role of both the Governor-General, Sir James Robertson, and the leader of the NCNC, Dr. Ezekwe, but aren't due to be open to the public for another half a century. I've put in a request under the Freedom of Information Act to view them now, but I'm still awaiting a response, as is Professor David Anderson.
Clearly someone in the British government, when those files were classified, didn't want us historians to know something about what they contain. And that raises my suspicions that those files might contain information about whatever deals were brokered between the British government and the NCNC. Because it is certainly the case that the NCNC could not have won the election support it did without British support, or nor that it could have formed a coalition with the MPC at independence without British support. So I would love to see what's in those two files about Sir James Robertson and Dr. Ezekwe.
Nigeria gained its independence from Britain on October the 1st, 1960.
It's a very touching moment as the Union Jack is brought down in darkness and the Nigerian flag is gradually taking its place.
Whether engineered by the British or not, as the Union flag came down, the North was in the driving seat. The leader of the NPC, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, was Prime Minister. His coalition partner, Dr. Ezekwe, took the role of Governor-General and later President.
And on the morning of Nigerian independence, greetings to you all, fellow countrymen. The deed has been done. It is finished.
But hopes for Nigeria's future were soon to be dashed. Continued tensions between the three regions, exacerbated by the dominance of the North, contributed to the political instability that led to a coup, a counter-coup, and, within 7 years, the Biafran Civil War that cost the lives of as many as 3 million Nigerians, largely through starvation and disease. In his memoirs, Harold Smith records the fate of their cook and their nanny caught up in the chaos.
Grace and William worked for us, and we trusted them and treated them as friends. We loved them. We left Africa and were very worried for them. Nigeria was on the brink of freedom and independence. They believed it because they trusted the British. They were Commonwealth citizens and our Queen was their Queen. We know that their trust was misplaced. The British had betrayed them. William's body, his human remains, first rested in a ditch in Biafra. Before being consumed by the teeming animal life in the bush. Grace, our nanny, starved to death in her native village in Biafra with her small children.
These unresolved events of so long ago seem to have cost Harold Smith a great deal, both in terms of his health and peace of mind. But he's adamant that over the years they've cost Nigeria a lot more than that.
I mean, so many coups, so many assassinations, so many murders, so many thousands killed. All those people in the oil regions cheated and treated so dreadfully. I mean, no country's gone through 50 years of absolute bloody hell. And it's all due to the British.
Harold, it seems surprising, though, that the Nigerians, particularly the Nigerians, would need any help in rigging elections. I mean, these days we hear
no, that's
nothing.
Not true. That's not true.
Nothing but rigging of elections.
True. Look, we're the ones who rigged the elections. We're the ones who gave this example. If they ever needed lessons, we did every dirty trick in the book, and we did it in Nigeria. They didn't do it. We could say, oh, you can't trust them. The way they spoke about them in London, oh, their children.
So you believe then that we taught them all they knew?
Yes. Yes, we've destroyed democracy in Africa.
It's deeply frustrating that although the testimonies of Smith and many Nigerians suggest that Britain's gift of democracy was not quite as history records, it's still impossible to be sure. Yet Professor David Anderson believes the government could easily end the mystery by finally agreeing to open the 2 long-secret files.
Well, Mike, you and I will be long dead by the time that these documents become available. And frankly, I think it is farcical that the British government should be able to do this. For one thing, it undermines trust between our country and a former colony, Nigeria. And for another thing, it raises deep suspicions about British actions and intent. I really think these files ought to be released as soon as possible so we can find out what's in them.
"22 women blockading the base, breaking the law, so there'll be no more war."
If you do not
century, in a cellar in Mayfair, the most famous scientist of the time, Humphrey Davy, built an extraordinary piece of electrical equipment, 4 meters wide, twice as long, and containing stinking stacks of acid and metal. It had been created to pump out more electricity than had ever been possible before. It was, in fact, the biggest battery the world had ever seen. And with it, Davy was about to propel us into a new age. That moment would take place at a lecture at the Royal Institution in front of hundreds of London's great and good. Filled with anticipation, they packed the seats, hoping to witness a new and exciting electrical wonder. But what they would see that night would be something truly unique, something they'd remember for the rest of their lives. Using just 2 simple carbon rods, Humphrey Davy was about to unleash the true potential of electricity. One of nature's most awesome phenomena, and the most powerful manifestation of it we ever see is lightning. This is the story of how we first dreamed of controlling this primal force of nature, and how we would ultimately become its master. It's a 300-year tale of dazzling leaps of imagination and extraordinary experiments. Tens of thousands of bolts passed across his body and through the end of a lamp that he was holding. It's a story of maverick geniuses who used electricity to light our cities, to communicate across the seas and through the air, to create modern industry, and to give us the digital revolution. But in this film, we'll tell the story of the very first scientists who started to unlock the mysteries of electricity. There's something alive in there. They studied its curious link to life, built strange and powerful instruments to create it, and even tamed lightning itself. It was these men who truly laid the foundations of the modern world. And it all started with a spark. Imagine our world without electricity. It will be dark, cold, and quiet. In many ways, it will be like the beginning of the 18th century, where our story begins. This is the Royal Society in London. In the early 1700s, after years in the wilderness, Isaac Newton finally took control of it after the death of his arch-enemy, Robert Hooke. Newton brought in his own people to the key jobs to help shore up his new position. The new head of demonstrations there was 35-year-old Francis Hawksby. Notes from the Royal Society in 1705 reveal how hard Hawksby tried to stamp his personality on its weekly meetings, producing ever more spectacular experiments to impress his masters. In November, he came up with this, a rotating glass sphere. He was able to remove the air from it using a new machine, the air pump. On his machine, a handle allowed him to spin the sphere. One by one, the candles in the room were put out. And Francis placed his hand against the sphere. The audience were about to see something amazing. Inside the glass sphere, a strange ethereal light began to form, dancing around his hand. A light no one had ever seen before. Oh, that's fantastic. You see a beautiful blue glow just marking out the shape of my hands, but then going right round the ball. It's as though there's something alive in there. It's difficult to really understand why this dancing blue light meant so much. But we have to bear in mind that at the time, natural phenomena like this was seen to be the work of